Hello and welcome to the second installment in my top series for Payday 2. In this video, we'll be diving into my personal favorite primary weapons. The criteria for me was very simple, one weapon per category, and it has to be a blast to use. These selections may not reflect the current meta of the game, but in my opinion are a lot of fun to use. Many players may consider some of these weapons actually to be outright terrible for high level play. For our first pick, I have chosen the Eagle Heavy, or Scar H, from the Assault Rifle category. While its initial debut left it in an awkward position on the food chain, the weapon rebalance allowed it to outperform many of its peers, especially when on higher difficulties. With the Eagle's damage exceeding 80 per hit, it grants it the ability to kill tan FBI with a single headshot. The respectable stopping power also will let you bring down special units with just a handful of shots, something very useful on Overkill and Deathwish. Considering its power, it also has decent handling characteristics, being able to reach maximum or at least high accuracy and stability with the addition of 100 rounds of reserve ammunition. This makes it a very effective weapon when playing on defense. Its biggest flaw, however, will be its reduction in effectiveness when on the attack due to its low fire rate and reliance on precision. Next up from the sniper category is the R93, a powerful mid-tier rifle that is capable of dominating long-range firefights, especially on Overkill and lower. While not as powerful as the Thanatos or as quick as the Rattlesnake, it does make up for this by being much more forgiving than its counterparts, allowing for body shots and the occasional miss without compromising effectiveness. Damage will be high enough to kill any non-special enemy with a single body shot or any non-dozer special with a single headshot on any difficulty below Deathwish. A good player with the R93 will be able to cripple the police's specials long before they become a threat, and this is especially true on large maps like Goat Simulator and Watch Dogs. Ammo capacity and reload speeds are manageable, especially if you pace yourself and don't become sloppy with your shooting. Engaging multiple opponents up close can be very tricky, even if you can line up double kills. As with any sniper rifle, taking a good close-range secondary is an absolute must. The weapon I've chosen from the Akimbo category is actually a relatively new offering. The Akimbo Krinkovs offer you the fun of dual wielding with the power of a carbine. While certainly one of the least practical weapons on my list, they are probably one of the most fun by the same token. Dealing damage comparable to the single Krinkov, they can quickly shred through tough opponents like bulldozers and Captain Winter's minions. The added damage also gives you an advantage when facing more durable Deathwish enemies, letting you maintain your momentum in an offensive push. While stability will be less than that of the standalone weapon, they are surprisingly controllable, especially with upgrades. Just remember to fire in bursts, not only to preserve your ammo, but your accuracy as well. Paired with Bulletstorm, these can offer you a quick way of cutting down an entire assault wave. Its biggest flaw is going to be its lackluster total ammo supply, so I would definitely recommend running fully loaded if your build can spare it. From the shotgun category, I felt it was a toss-up between the Mascani and the Jocelyn. However, the over and under was a lot more satisfying to use overall due to its larger ammo pool and being more functional at long range, something that's pretty rare for shotguns. Damage from the Jocelyn is very high and tied with the Mascani like many other stats. Its high damage will ensure reliable one-shot kills against most enemies and even specials if pellets strike the head. Its stopping power is only mitigated by bulldozers, who have a much smaller weak point compared to regular police. Handling for this shotgun is what you'd expect. Kicks like a mule and only has 2 shells, meaning you better stay very close to cover when using her. The Jocelyn can also be used effectively with a close-range secondary, as it's capable of engaging targets at extreme range depending on ammunition. Just be aware of its limitations when dealing with multiple enemies up close, as it will generally have a rather narrow spread for a shotgun. The next weapon is similar to the twin Krinkovs, and that it may lack in effectiveness, but it is incredibly fun to use under the right circumstances. The Buzzsaw from the LMG category can offer you unsurpassed suppressing fire and can turn any hallway or street into Omaha Beach. Damage is comparable to the other LMGs, sitting at just around 40 depending on what barrel extension is equipped. However, where this weapon shines is in its incredible rate of fire, able to be a decent match to the minigun in terms of effective. Using this weapon with a bipod in a good or even improvised defensive position can bring any police assault to a grinding halt. If you fire in bursts and bring a laser pointer, accuracy and ammo consumption shouldn't be too big of a concern. The Buzzsaw, however, does have one of the longest reload times in game, so make sure you have somewhere to hide when you reach the end of your belt. Last, but certainly not least, from the special category, I have chosen the flamethrower. With the ability to incinerate enemies within seconds, this weapon is the absolute pinnacle of close range power. While its per hit damage may be a bit lackluster, its burn damage and high rate of fire ensure that it is still a very powerful weapon in the right hands. It can be used not only to circumvent armor and shields, but also to stun lock bulldozers who happen to get caught in its fiery blast. Keep in mind that once the flamethrower does deplete a tank, it will be subjected to a very lengthy reload, so make sure to keep an eye on your fuel count. Even with the highest damage fuel, you should still have no trouble keeping the flamethrower topped off, allowing you to scorch a path to victory. That's our list. 6 weapons, endless fun. What are your favorite weapons to use? Let me know in the comment section below, along with any other comments or questions. As always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.